Hello everyone. Thank you once again for joining in to Koala Corner for our arts and crafts project today. Today we are going to be making a caterpillar. So if you can grab your materials that you need out of your project box, this is what we're going to be making today. So this is a caterpillar, okay? So that's what it's going to look like. That's our model that we're going to use. The materials we're going to need today, we're going to need our scissors, we're going to use our liquid glue today, and we're going to use pipe cleaners. We have a pipe cleaner. We're going to use one large glittery pom-pom, and we're going to use our jumbo popsicle sticks. In your craft box or craft project box, you have some that are color like this. These are already pre-painted for you, so I'm going to use a green one today. We're going to need a pencil, and we're going to need a marker. I'm going to use a black marker today, but in your materials box, you should have assorted colored markers. So I'm going to use black today, and we're going to need some Google eyes. We have 2 Google eyes that we're going to use, and these are the medium-sized ones. Okay, so once again, let me show you what we're going to be making. This is our caterpillar. Okay, so this is the model we're going to go by to complete today's project. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our pipe cleaner, and we don't need the entire pipe cleaner for this project. I'm going to fold it in half, and we're going to cut it. So we're going to cut it first. And the one you have left over, we can always save it, and we can always use it for another craft project if needed. So we end up with half of our pipe cleaner, okay? This is going to be the antenna for our caterpillar, okay? So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to grab our markers. If you noticed on our model, there's a little bit of a design on there. If you notice, there's polka dots and lines going up and down. So we're going to decorate our popsicle stick to give it a bit of a pattern on there. So for mine today, I'm going to follow our model. So I'm going to start at the end, and I'm going to start out with polka dots, and I'm going to do some squiggly lines. I'm just going to do a pattern. If you want to do lines all across, if you want to do straight lines, if you want to do polka dots all along it, that's fine as well. If you want to write your name on it, that would be great too. So this is going to be the body of our caterpillar. So I'll show you how that's looking. This is going to be our body. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way across with our polka dots and our squiggly lines. Okay. And be sure to use whatever colored marker you'd like in your box. Black will usually stand out the best against certain colors, but you're able to use whichever color you'd like. So this is what it's going to look like. So this is going to be the body of our caterpillar, okay? The next thing we're going to do is the pipe cleaner I asked you to set aside. This is going to be our antenna. So we're going to use this to put on next. Our antenna is going to go on next, and we're not going to need any glue for this actually. What we're going to do is, if you noticed on this one, this is how it looks, and I'm going to show you the back of it. This is the back, and all we did was just wrapped it around and twisted it, okay? So that's what it's going to look like. So you're going to grab your popsicle stick, and we're just going to tie it around. So it's going to look like this. And all I did was just twist it at the top. Pipe cleaners usually are really good about staying in place, you know, with the wire that it has in it. So this is how it's going to look. So that's going to be your body and your antenna. And I usually will curl the antenna with the pencil. But you don't have to curl them if you don't want to. Okay, and you can position them whatever way you'd like. So this is what it's gonna look like, okay? If you want to leave them up, if you want to fold them down or twirl them going out, it's totally up to you, okay? So this is what it's gonna look like. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our large glittery pom-pom, and I'm gonna use red today. Okay, so this is gonna be the head of our caterpillar. If you notice on this one, I used white, but for this one, we're gonna use a large glittery red one, okay? And this is gonna go on the other side of your pipe cleaner. So it's gonna go ahead and cover that wire or that pipe cleaner that we have there, okay? So we're gonna use our liquid glue also for this project. And this pom-pom is rather large, so it is gonna need quite a bit of glue. So be sure you put plenty of glue. And you'll notice it's gonna be sliding off on you when you move it. But once it sets, it'll stay in place, okay? So I'm gonna try to lift that up, that way you can see without it sliding off. But that's we have our body decorated, we have our antenna, and we have our head of our caterpillar, okay? Once the glue completely sets in place, of course, you'll be able to move it and put it wherever you'd like. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna glue on our Google eyes, okay? So we're gonna put 2 eyes. Something about caterpillars that I learned, since we're gluing on the eyes, caterpillars actually have 12 eyes, but on ours we're gonna put 2. That's an interesting fact that I came across. Caterpillars do actually have 12 eyes, 6 eyelets on each side of its head. And you'd think with 12 eyes, they'd be caterpillars with wonderful vision. So this is what it's gonna look like. But as I was saying, the eyelets that the caterpillars have, they're actually to determine night and day, not color. So that's just an interesting fact I came across. If you notice, if you see caterpillars outside, if you notice they kind of move side to side with their head, that's actually, they're just using it to determine if it's night or day, and that's how they get around, not necessarily for vision. So there you go, that's an interesting fact that we learned together. So here you go, here's your final project of a caterpillar. So there you go. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this activity that we had planned for today. And I do want to encourage you to make it as fun as possible. Yeah, I hope you all are having fun with the project so far. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye, koalas. Okay.